So you just said something really interesting. There's a concept of saying that people are creative or not, right? And then there's a concept of can a person who's not creative be creative? Of course, every person can
That's
be
very good point.
creative, just like every person can be organized. Everyone has a
Right.
small amount of OCD, right? It's the people who have way too
Right.
much OCD who need medication, right? So it's like it's the same thing here. So I spend all my day thinking creatively. That's all I do. When sometimes it freaks me out, but my wife is with me for like we've known each other for over 16 years, and all of a sudden she sees me do something like as simple as my daughter wanted to put a tattoo on her arm, like one of those like press-on sticker tattoos,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
put the tattoo on, and I took a piece of paper like a ticket that we had from a movie, like movie stuff, and I put it here and I ripped it in two places and I put it and it basically held it in a ring. And she looked at me and goes, you really are creative. I'm like, 16 years. It took that to realize I'm creative. Like one little.
Ew.
Okay, but like the main thing is that you're not looking. We're not looking for people to change into becoming creative. Like that, everyone has their own skills, their own focuses, the own things they love. I love changing and looking at things in different perspectives. That's what I love doing. I love doing it all day long, right? So that I can find unique ways to talk to people or tell someone's story, to look at something, or even like for myself, like what do I believe about dealing with my kids and how do I want to express things to them? I don't want them to have the standard cookie cutter like childhood. I definitely want to turn around to my kid and if he's like playing with his phone, I talked about this in one of my videos. Like there was a thing that I spoke about boredom, right? My son turned around to me and we had a really deep conversation right after that. He grabbed his phone and I was like, no, don't do that. And he's like, what? Am I punished or something? I'm like, no, you're not. I just
Right.
want you to be bored for a second. And he goes, what do you mean?
Right.
Because that when you're bored, you think things through. Like people, you're
Exactly.
just gonna have a
Exactly.
moment to breathe. It's not just
By the
don't
way,
take my
closing your
opinion.
eyes, thinking with your eyes in pitch dark room is a great way. Was it not Einstein, not Carnegie, Edison? I think it was Edison. He used to he would sit at his desk and he had a notepad and a pen, and the lights were off, pitch dark, and he'd had a pull, what's it called, like a pull light, right? Like you would have like on your ceiling fan, but he had it above his desk, and he would just brainstorm and be creative of things of his inventions. As soon as he had an idea, boom, he'd turn on the light, write down his notes, what he thought, turned it back off, and started thinking again. So
Yeah,
in the vacuum, you have creativity. If you're always distracted, if you're always thinking, you're always going to go, you don't have that opportunity.
exactly.
So
So a lot of people
forcing
don't
yourself,
have the mindset to do that because they're in the rat race, right? We're all running to make a
right?
buck. We
You're
all have
always
to take
trying
care of
to
our kids. We have a
right
million
with
different
this,
things to
get your
do.
damn kids to bed so you can have a freaking second to yourself, right?
Yeah,
Right?
and then you
That's the
collapse on
real
the
rat
couch.
race of life.
No,
Right,
but I'm saying
exactly.
like
Right.
that's the honest to God truth.
It's like
The
too
honest to God
tired of
truth
leaving
is
bed.
that yeah, the honest to God truth is that most people are in it, and unless you love doing what I do, you're not considered a creative, right? But everyone has creativity, and I think that no matter what situation
Right,
you're in, you have the opportunity of using creative means to get out of it, right? So,
right.
or
Well,
creative
that's the
means
only
to
way.
see
It's
it
the
a
only way to
different
get out of it.
perspective. Exactly. So I'm saying, first of all, realize there's no rules. Like the rules don't really exist. I mean, that you will suffer consequences if you go and murder someone. Like there are certain rules that are there for some reason. But like I'm saying, things can be bent and things can be broken.